Thank you very much.
Aliens use technology to travel along our time to manipulate our reality or perception of our history. What is your perception of timelines or time deception?
Well, my feeling is that our perception of time is certainly among, if not the greatest form of locking us into this fake reality. You talk to virtually anyone who's had a serious out-of-body experience, or near-death experiences that they're called, and they'll tell you that their relationship to time dramatically changed when they left the body, that past, present and future all came together in the same moment. And people who've been into deep states of meditation have experienced the same. There is no time, there is only one infinite now. And what this hack has done, and a major part of this hack, has been to project this information field, this hack into the information field that carries the information of what we call time. So time, as we perceive it, one thing following another in a sequence, in effect, is the way that we decode this hacked information. The left side of the brain does it massively. It takes information from the now and it puts it into a sequence. This is why, Einstein, used to say that time was relative, because, to paraphrase him, if you put your hand in boiling water, time seems to pass very slowly. But as he put it, if you're in the company of a beautiful woman, then time seems to pass very quickly, because it's relative. When you're in a situation that you don't really want to be in, then your decoding system, particularly in the left side of the brain, puts this sequence, constructs this sequence in a way that moves slowly, or appears to move slowly. When you're doing something you really love, then this sequence is put into to move quickly in the way that we experience it. So time is completely relative. I mean, we have an invisible line in the middle of the ocean, and if you go that way across it, you go into yesterday, and that way you go into tomorrow, and it's like, it's crazy. I mean, this is crazy. It's all manufactured, and thus, when your greater awareness, your greater consciousness is operating in a state of no time now, the infinite now, but that which is experiencing this reality has got caught into this illusory sequence that we call time, then already they're in different realms of or states of being, which is already disconnecting the influence of one over the other, because they're in different realms. This is in the now, this is in time. And it's fascinating to me too when I look at Saturn, and how Saturn and the moon, clearly, which I say are part of this hack, are so connected to our perception of time. See, the Romans, they worshipped, their major god was Saturn. They used to have a festival every year in the period running up to our Christmas called Saturnalia, where they had put trees up in their homes and decorated them and handed out gifts. It was our Christmas. And they worshipped Saturn. And the Greek god of Saturn, the Greek name for the god of Saturn, was Kronos. And Kronos is where we get Father Time from. Kronos is where we get the Grim Reaper from, because Kronos was portrayed with the scythe, with the sickle or scythe, and so time and Saturn and the moon are fundamentally connected, and I feel that this hack in so many ways has created this illusion of time that keeps us from the infinite realm of no time, or from connecting with it in a way that it will influence us. It's a big, big part of the control system, what we call time. And because we're so welded to it, and I completely understand it, we find it very, very difficult to perceive anything that could not have time sequence as we know it. But when I look at, you know, the now and all that stuff, and what we perceive as time, if I put a DVD, a movie, into that television there, and it started to play, after I've watched it for a while, the scenes that I've watched in the movie would be my perception of the past. The scene I'm watching will be my perception of the present, and the scenes I've yet to watch are my perception from here of the future. And yet all those scenes, past, my perception of present, and future, all exist on the disc in their entirety at the same time. The question is, where on that disc am I watching at any point? Because that's my reference point. That's my now. That's my present. Everything past, everything gone before, everything still to come, past and future. But it's just all there at the same time, in the same disc, the same now, before you've watched the first scene. You know, time is not what we think it is, but it is a massive, massive way of enslaving us in a perception prison.
Do you think we exist simultaneously in different time zones?
Definitely. You know, in the end, everything is one. Thus, everything exists infinitely. And of course, there are different expressions of this infinite. This one's called David Icke, but connected to what's called David Icke, going into other realms of reality, out into the great infinity, are other levels of the infinite one and other levels of me that are not called David Icke. This is just the expression of this multi-level consciousness that is having this experience here in this reality, but we operate over multiple realities. And what the hack, the control system has done, from the knowledge of how to do this, which these reptilian archonic kind of entities do, is that their idea is to isolate this expression of this infinite awareness from higher, more expansive levels of it, and to get this level to see itself in isolation. Little me, I am my name, my job, and all the rest of it. Because then they got you. Because then they've got you in a smaller box than they're in, and the one-eyed man is king. This awakening is taking us beyond this to see that this is just what it is. In fact, it's just a point of observation. That's all. You move your point of observation, you're suddenly not David Icke in its entirety. That's what you are. You are consciousness having an experience that someone called David Icke. And already your point of observation has changed. The idea of the control system is to pull our point of observation into five-sense reality alone. And you look at the world, you look at society, you look at the way it's structured, and it's all about enticing the five senses. Look at this, smell this, feel this, you know, listen to this. It's all pulling us into the five-sense level of decoding reality, which is and one of the great pollutions that is being imposed upon us more and more is sound pollution. Sound pollution. Don't give people the chance to have silence as much as you can. Pull them in. Get them to put the telly on. Get in the car. Put the radio on. Kill the silence. Because when you go into the silence, you go into the all that is. Because people think that silence is nothing. What can you hear? Nothing. You can hear everything. Because within that silence is all possibility waiting to manifest. So if I'm talking now and killing the silence, what I'm doing is I'm pulling one possibility out of all possibility, the silence. And then when I stop talking, it's back again. And so what we're doing is pulling possibilities out. We call it form, we call it manifestation. But in the silence and the stillness, which I've experienced in other states of consciousness, that's where everything exists. Some people call it the void. I don't like the name the void because it gives the impression of nothingness when it's everythingness. It's all possibility. Within that stillness and silence is all that is, has been, and ever can be. Because when you hear people say these phrases through your life, oh, it's all that is, can be, and ever, and you think, before you kind of wake up, you think, well, what do you mean? It's all that is and ever can be. That's ridiculous. How can that? All possibility. All possibility must be all that is, can be, and ever can be. It wouldn't be all possibility. So then you start looking at you're looking at these paradoxes that aren't paradoxes. So you say, within this is everything and nothing. You can't have everything and nothing. You've got to be one or the other. Well, you have in this world, yeah, because that's the way we perceive it. But within all possibility, everything and nothing has to exist, or it's not all possibility. Everywhere and nowhere has to exist within all possibility. This is where it all comes from. This infinite possibility that people call the infinite, the all that is, and all whatever. And we're just experiencing a tiny fraction of possibility from within all possibility. And the more we're isolated into the fraction of possibility, the more the few can control us, and they do, but not for much longer.